someone is pulling the strings from the shadows and orchestrating the end of Diddy's career. Mayor Eric Adams and Diddy are both going down, and allegedly one of the biggest names in the music industry. Is behind it all? Was Jay-Z controlling Diddy? And how is he now planning to send Diddy to jail? Exclusive audio leaked from a call is exposing horrifying secrets. Diddy's
prison phone call just leaked, and it was posted by Social Details. This is allegedly a call that he had, and there's a lot of talk, a lot of code words in there, so we're gonna listen to it together. Check it out.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes leftover.
Now, this alleged leaked call from Diddy in prison was talking about getting rid of pizza boxes. Now, if you know your stuff and you're privy, you know exactly what pizza stands for, and that's probably what they're talking about and referring to on this alleged leaked call. Pizza, for those who don't know, I'm gonna make it very clean. It has to do with children and selling.
Make sure you recycle the plastic like you talked about.
Now, in this alleged phone call, he starts talking about someone named Jay. People are speculating that may be Jay-Z, but there's no confirmation. At the same time, he talks about recycling plastic. I don't know what that could mean. If you guys have any idea, comment and let me know.
Everybody out there quiet as motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. We gonna let them have their little fun, but I'm still gonna have the last laugh.
I mean, it seems by the call that he's looking for help. He's saying that a lot of people are quiet, I guess people that are on his side, and that he's gonna have the last laugh at the end.
Man, just do what I told you to do, and don't forget about the list.
And then he goes on to say, don't forget about the list. And we don't know what that list is or what that implies, but this is pretty crazy. Do I think this is legitimate? There is no confirmation yet if this is legitimate or not, but this is the alleged leak call.
A third superseding indictment has been filed against Sean Diddy Combs by the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. This indictment mentions a new victim and adds an additional charge of sex trafficking and an additional charge of transportation to engage in prostitution, exposing Combs to the possibility of additional prison time if convicted. As you can probably guess, Diddy has denied all the allegations, and according to his lawyers, all of the victims mentioned in the lawsuit were actually his long-term girlfriends.
Submitted to Judge Arun Subramanian by acting U.S. Attorney Matthew Podolsky lays out what this is about, lays out the three big differences in this new filing. Quote, the third superseding indictment contains three substantive changes to the charged offenses. First, count 4, which is, by the way, a new count. Count 4 charges an additional substantive count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion with respect to victim 2. Victim 2 was previously identified as a victim of sex trafficking in count 1 of the second superseding indictment. And if you look at count 1 in the second superseding indictment, which is racketeering conspiracy, it reads in part, Combs then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims, including but not limited to 3 female victims, victim 1, victim 2, and victim 3, to engage in commercial sex acts. In connection with the commercial sex acts, Combs provided the victims with, among other things, monetary payments, career opportunities, and payment of rent and housing expenses. Okay, so again, that was count 1 in the second superseding indictment. But now, Combs is facing a new individual sex trafficking charge against victim 2. And it reads, quote, from at least in or about 2021 up to and including in or about 2024 in the Southern District of New York and elsewhere, Sean Combs, and then it says, recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, and maintained victim 2 and attempted, aided, and abetted, and willfully caused victim 2 to engage in commercial sex acts, knowing and in reckless disregard for the fact that victim 2 was engaging in commercial sex acts as a result of force, fraud, and coercion.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James have just been named in a new civil case filed in Florida on April 1st. Victim Joseph Manzaro alleges that he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Diddy and others back in 2015. Allegedly, Jay-Z and Beyonce were both present at a freak-off party where this man was abused. And this isn't the first time Jay-Z has been brought up in connection to Diddy, and it certainly won't be the last.
Diddy Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits his federal trial. In a civil case filed in Florida April 1st, Joseph Manzaro alleges, according to court documents obtained by E! News, that he was drugged, transported against his will, and maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Combs and others back in 2015, and names celebs such as Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and LeBron James as witnesses in the lawsuit. In his filing, Manzaro says the alleged events took place in April 2015. He states that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline as he opened the front door to his home, after which he says he was transported to another residence, where an associate of Combs allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. Manzaro alleges in the suit he was secretly transferred to the music producer's home through a concealed tunnel allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan's Miami property. He alleges that upon regaining partial consciousness, he found himself inside a large party area upon information and belief that it was a birthday party for Combs' then 17-year-old son Christian Combs. There he was allegedly forced to appear in a penis mask. The lawsuit states, Jay-Z and Beyoncé Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyoncé Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a penis mask standing here in front of me?" Manzaro alleges in the lawsuit that he was then forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who were jeering and taunting him, and that Combs himself stated, "He's going to find out what we do to snitches tonight. Get him undressed." Manzaro says that after being stripped and forcibly washed, he was sexually assaulted and forced to partake in unwanted sexual activity. He also alleges in the filing he woke up to find himself on a couch in a small dark side room, after which he says he was dressed and taken out of the residence to another house, where he was savagely beaten and left for dead. He alleges that both the Estefans and James saw him before he entered Combs' home, with the suit stating that as he was dragged through the back entrance of their mansion at approximately 12:30 a.m., Gloria, quote, panicked upon seeing his deteriorating state and said, "Call an ambulance." However, Manzaro says Emilio quickly silenced her and ushered her away. He also says that after encountering James, the NBA star looked at him and said in response to Gloria's plan for an ambulance, "Y'all better do something about that." In a statement to E! News, Combs' legal team says the filed complaint demonstrates the depraved lengths plaintiffs will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. No sane person reading this complaint could credit this story. Mr. Combs looks forward to having his day in court, where these lies and the perverse motives of those who told them will be revealed. E! News has reached out to Jay-Z and Beyoncé, the Estefans, and James for comment and has not heard.
Just a few months ago, Jay-Z was named in another lawsuit in connection to Diddy, and mentioned as a defendant. This lawsuit alleged that Jay-Z was involved in the of a 13-year-old minor, along with Diddy.
And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case for personal gain.
And one of the people at risk, often mentioned online, was Jay-Z, real name Sean Carter, who came up in the New York rap scene alongside Sean Combs. And just a few days ago, Texas attorney Tony Busby made it official. He filed an amended complaint on behalf of a Jane Doe who says that she was raped by Combs and Carter when she was just 13 years old, that this happened at a VMA's after party back in 2000. Now, the original complaint mentioned Celebrity A and Celebrity B, a man and woman, as being present for and even Celebrity A participating in the alleged assault. Well, now Celebrity A has been identified as Jay-Z, who has adamantly denied anything like that ever happening. He is very, very clear on that. In fact, he has accused Tony Busby of extortion, saying that Busby's attempts to get celebrities to pay out huge sums of money in exchange for not being named in civil lawsuits with what he claims are false allegations amounts to blackmail. In fact, Jay-Z is believed to be the John Doe who just recently filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby anonymously, claiming extortion and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
Jay-Z's name keeps coming back up again and again, and as we peel back the layers, it's clear that Diddy and Jay-Z were more than just friends. Allegedly, Jay-Z was the mastermind behind the entire operation, and he exposed Diddy to save himself. Mayor Eric Adams from New York was involved in Diddy's criminal enterprise too, and he was just arrested on charges of corruption. Jay-Z realized that it was time to step back, and he placed the entire blame on
Diddy Combs, looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security Investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced as prosecutors allege.
Big breaking news tonight. For the first time in the history of New York City, a sitting mayor has been indicted for crimes. ABC News reporting that Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We do not know yet the exact charges. Federal authorities have been investigating Adams and members of his staff, issuing subpoenas for documents and cell phones. Several members of administration have resigned, some of them also friends of Mayor Adams. Again, Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York, has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We'll have the latest online and tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
A leaked call from prison even shows that Diddy was waiting for Jay-Z to reach out to him. Diddy knows that at this time Jay-Z is the only one who can help him. Diddy even asked his son Christian Combs to try and contact Jay-Z. Jay-Z is smarter than Diddy, and he's doing everything he can to separate his name from Diddy's. If Jay-Z goes down, his and Beyonce's billion-dollar empire goes down with them.
That one don't get at you from the inside.
You have reached out to a witness, an alleged participant in multiple freak-offs.
Then why Oprah staying quiet? Why Ellen moving to another country?
And he's asking people to intimidate witnesses or pay people off.
Don't be shocked if nobody show up to testify. Don't contact me anymore, Puff. I already got that Houston lawyer breathing down my neck over that 13-year-old girl. If you don't want things to get worse for you, then you need to start answering my son's phone call.
The defendant's goal is to blackmail victims and witnesses either into silence or providing testimony helpful to his defense.
New York is having a problem with leaks in this Diddy case, with alleged video of the court hearings already on the internet and leaked phone calls where he's calling witnesses. Things are getting out of control, and you won't believe what he says on these calls. Recently, the DA released that Diddy was contacting witnesses from jail, and they were saying this is the reason that he shouldn't get bail. He was using other inmates' phone calls to three-way people who would then call the witnesses, and that's who he spoke to over the phone. Also, in a weird turn of events, the DA who brought these charges against Diddy is suddenly resigning from his position during the biggest case of his career, and that is strange. So let's break down this insane phone call that we found online. Legal disclaimer, people, I'm just a guy that reacts to stuff I find on the internet. So as of right now, everything is rumors, gossip, or opinions of others. Everything in this video is just alleged.
And just do the I told you to do, and don't forget about the list. Make sure that shit is fucking signed. Alright. Good. So tell me, what's been going on? How the girls doing? How's Quincy doing? They good. Quincy, he been filming a lot. And yo, don't tell me that he's out here filming for that vlog show. What the fuck is it called? Yeah, I guess so. He do got us in it too. Yo, y'all motherfuckers stupid? Y'all understand the definition of lay low? This nigga got a fucking TV show while I'm dealing with this shit. Y'all need to just stay out the fucking press. No cameras, no nothing. Don't entertain nothing. Don't take pictures. Don't sign autographs. Just stay in the fucking house. Not me though, Pop. I do be in the crib. Everybody else just be on different shit. Don't nobody want to listen to what I gotta say. But it's all good. I got motherfuckers cutting deals left and right trying to take me down. Nah, Pop. Everything gonna be alright. We gonna get you out. Oh, I know. Cause I got one more trick up my sleeve, and this one is gonna put everybody back in their seats. I can't wait to see the look on everybody's faces when this shit happens. What you need, though, Bob? Don't even worry about it. Just do me a favor and vote for Harris. And don't be surprised when all my so-called friends do exactly that. Alright, now, did you complete everything that's on the letter? Yeah, I got the pig pen, Bob. I did it. Are you stupid? I gotta go. I'll call you.
Keep in mind that Jay-Z is literally a backstabber back in December of 1999. Jay-Z stabbed his friend Lance Unruh and fled the scene. Eventually, Jay-Z was charged for the stabbing and pleaded guilty to third-degree assault in October 2001, receiving a 3-year probation sentence.
Top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a perfect person.
The spotlight is slowly shifting to Jay-Z, and the lawsuits against Diddy are being withdrawn, according to Diddy's lawyers. All the cases against him will be eventually dismissed or withdrawn.
Another win in court for Sean Diddy Combs, a federal judge dismissing a sexual assault lawsuit against the hip-hop mogul, citing the plaintiff's failure to file a complaint under her real name. Combs has denied all wrongdoing.
And joining us now is ABC Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky and ABC News contributor and attorney Brian Buckmeyer. Gentlemen, good to see you both. So, Aaron, we'll start with you. Tell us exactly how this case got dismissed.
Well, it's as simple as that. The judge said that the presumption is when you file a civil lawsuit against somebody, the defendant has a right to know who his accuser is. So at some point, she was not going to be allowed to proceed anonymously. The only thing we knew about her in this case is a New York woman who says she was sexually assaulted and violently hit by Sean Combs sometime around 1995 at a party for a Biggie Smalls video. And the judge told her at some point you're going to have to say who you are. She refused to do it by the deadline the judge set, and so the judge dismissed it.
Claimed that Jay-Z is way worse than Diddy. And in reality, Jay-Z was running the whole operation from the shadows, while Diddy was the one who got blamed for it. Jay-Z works in silence, and Diddy bragged too much about what he was doing. Is it really just a coincidence that Jay-Z and Diddy appeared in the industry at the same time, got charged with crimes at the same time in the 90s, and became billionaires? Together, everyone who stands in Jay-Z's way vanishes. And it looks like it was Diddy's turn to vanish.
Another win in court for Sean Diddy Combs, a federal judge dismissing a sexual assault lawsuit against the hip-hop mogul, citing the plaintiff's failure to file a complaint under her real name. Combs has denied all wrongdoing.
And joining us now is ABC Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky and ABC News contributor and attorney Brian Buckmeyer. Gentlemen, good to see you both. So, Aaron, we'll start with you. Tell us exactly how this case got dismissed.
Well, it's as simple as that. The judge said that the presumption is when you file a civil lawsuit against somebody, the defendant has a right to know who his accuser is. So at some point, she was not going to be allowed to proceed anonymously. The only thing we knew about her in this case is a New York woman who says she was sexually assaulted and violently hit by Sean Combs sometime around 1995 at a party for a Biggie Smalls video. And the judge told her at some point you're going to have to say who you are. She refused to do it by the deadline the judge set, and so the judge dismissed it.
Around the time that Diddy got charged, his law firm dropped him as a client. Diddy had been with Grubman, Shai Mielis, and Sachs for over 20 years, and after the federal lawsuit was filed against him, they left him. Why would a law firm that has worked on dozens of federal cases suddenly decide to leave a billionaire, allegedly? Jay-Z was the one who forced them to do.
Years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Jay-Z has been notable by his silence since these charges were brought against Diddy. Why do you think that is?
Because that's what he does. He starts little fires everywhere, forces everyone involved to go and carry water while he sneaks away without a response. That changes now, Sean. You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop.
They is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything, just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say so?
I mean, probably not, considering she's gonna be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is that.
Why did Anthony Rico and Grubman, Shellis, and Sachs decide to leave Diddy? Is the evidence against Diddy really that bad? Or is it something else?
Combs' legal team is getting a little smaller as the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex trafficking charges. His attorney, Anthony Rico, respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Masalis, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts.
He has been in contact with Jay-Z and other witnesses relating to his crimes. Did he even manage to get out of prison for a few hours while Jay-Z was being sued? Did Jay-Z let Diddy get out so he could help him out with the lawsuit? It's interesting how days after Diddy is allowed to leave the prison, the victim claiming that Jay-Z raped her withdraws her lawsuit. We already know that Diddy was in contact with witnesses, so it makes sense to believe that Diddy might have contacted.
It's very important that we do that. An attorney walking away, sometimes it's because they don't get the lead chair or one of the lead chairs. Sometimes it's because a client is lying. Sometimes it's because they believe wholeheartedly that the client is going to be guilty and they don't want to be associated with that guilt because that's a loss on their record. It could be a variety of things, but the fact that we are speculating about that when the trial date hasn't even started yet concerns me because I'm one of those people, ladies and gentlemen, who firmly believes it's virtually impossible to find a jury that's not contaminated by some kind of information that's been put out to the public before a trial begins. I'm not one of those that believes that. May 5th is May 5th. I mean, come on now. That's more than 2 months away. Jury ain't been selected yet. You trying to tell me nobody that's on the jury will have heard that a lawyer backed out of the case? I don't know about y'all, but I find that that's not a good thing for Sean Diddy Combs.
Someone is pushing the people around Diddy to come out and speak against him. Diddy's ex-executive assistant and his chief of staff have both recently come out and alleged the same crimes that Diddy is being sued for. Is someone paying Philip Pines and KK to speak out against Diddy? Is all of this part of a targeted smear campaign, manufactured to get rid of the only person who could take Jay-Z down?
Tells this morning in the sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs, prosecutors now claiming that from behind bars, Combs has been trying to reach out to victims and possible witnesses. And ABC's Phil Lipoff is here now with this story. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Gio. Diddy's lawyers trying for a third time to get him out on bail, but this time, the prosecution telling the judge about attempts they say the rap mogul made from behind bars to influence everyone from potential jury to alleged victims. This morning, prosecutors leveling new accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, saying he poses a serious risk of danger even from behind bars as he awaits trial. In a court filing late Friday, prosecutors detailing the steps they say Combs is taking while locked up to reach out to prospective witnesses and influence public opinion to affect potential jurors.
The accusations within the prosecution's motion to deny bail are very serious and will be considered very heavily by the judge, because the judge is going to want to ensure that he is not influencing witnesses and or contacting anyone to influence a trial in any way.
Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering, transportation to engage in prostitution, and trafficking. He denies any wrongdoing. The government now asking a judge not to grant Combs' third request for bail, in which the music mogul offers a $50 million bail package, citing new evidence and changed circumstances.
Diddy's defense crumbles and once trusted allies turn away. One burning question remains. Is this the ultimate dismantling of a media empire, orchestrated by one of its own? Stay tuned as this high-stakes drama continues to unfold, leaving the world to wonder just who truly holds the power in this battle for legacy and survival.